Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brandy Smith.
And I'm Alex Carter. So, Brandy, midterms have been going on.
Yes, they've been extremely stressful. Have you started yours yet?
Not yet, but I have some study tips to help with a lot of people getting going on that. Some of them I found helpful is talking out loud while you're studying. Kind of helps you memorize, and writing stuff down really helps you get the information down if you write it down a couple times. And then also Quizlet. Quizlet's really helpful. You can make your own, view other people's. Do you have any other ones?
Another one I found helpful was chewing gum while studying. If you chew a certain flavor of gum and then while you're studying, and then also take that same flavor into class while you're taking your exam, then it'll help you retain all the information.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, it really helps. I've done it before, and it saved me from failing a lot of exams.
Good. Make sure you have that gum on hand.
Exactly. Another one would be staying off of social media and taking a break, and making sure that your mind is clear, so that way whenever you go into the exam, you're only focusing on the exam rather than what's new on Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one. I'm pretty distracted whenever I have my phone around me trying to study.
Yeah. What would be another one you have?
Honestly, just isolating yourself in a room and just a quiet place. Maybe put some music on if you can study with music. I know some people have problems with that, but just make sure you're alone and just designate a certain time just for studying.
Yeah, that's a good one. And most importantly is getting some sleep. If you are sleep deprived, that can really show during your exam, and it can affect you a lot.
Yeah, 8 hours is pretty important.
Yeah, so speaking of importance, on campus, a new thing that we've got going on is the first days of President Trump. Have you been able to make some of the events?
I have not yet, but I've heard they're starting a couple people are speaking in the future.
Yeah, former KU student Henry C.J. Jackson, the author of Politico, will be there, and he'll be speaking about the first 100 days. He's actually had quite a lot of experience. He's worked with President Obama along with his wife as well, and he runs a very popular Twitter page.
Really? That's cool. I guess the other one is Johanna Maska, a former White House aide, advisor, and consultant, the director of press advance for the Barack Obama administration, and she currently works with early stage companies as a growth and strategy advisor.
Yeah, so, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely some experts in that field.
Yeah, so make sure you go out and check it. It'll be at Dole on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. It started on the 1st, and we'll be going the 15th, 29th, and we even have some dates in April, so stay tuned for that. That's very exciting because the first 100 days have been very different. Yeah, so do you have anything going on?
I heard you saw Get Out.
Yes, I did. Get Out was a really good movie. Last weekend, it was its first weekend, it made $30 million already. It's by the guy from Key and Peele.
Yeah, I think it's Peele, yeah.
Yeah, it's Peele. He made the movie. It's his first time directing ever, so that's really cool. I don't want to give away too much information, but it's very relevant to today's times, and even I guess during the Civil War and all of that.
Definitely have to.
Yeah.
I know KU plays their last game before the Big 12 tournament Saturday against Oklahoma State, so that'll be good. We already clinched the Big 12, so we're not playing for much. Probably already clinched a 1 seed, but it'll be fun to get out there and watch Frank Mason's last regular season game.
Yeah, it should be good. Catch the game at 5 o'clock, and even Get Out. It is still in theaters. After, I will be introducing a new segment that we have called Struggle Bus, and stay tuned.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brandy Smith. I just wanted to introduce you to a new segment that we'll be having called Struggle Bus. It caters to those students out there that have the case of the Mondays every day. It's really exciting. It's a new segment for us, so check it out.
I think college, if nothing else, college is the time to do you. College is the time to experiment. It's the time to put yourself out there. It's the time to try something different. It's the time to start a new show called The Struggle Bus, which kind of doesn't make grammatical sense, but it's great. It's fun, and, you know, I really enjoy it.
In California, it's such a big city, I guess. I don't really consider myself like a city boy or anything, but coming out here, I remember someone was like, or one night, one of my friends wanted me to go out on a hay bale with them. And I honestly hadn't even heard of a hay bale before that night. And I was just like, okay, you know, why not? Someone, they're native to this place, they want me to come and hang out with them, I might as well do it. So we take out a blanket, drive out to Clinton Lake, and we're just driving down that road for a little bit. And I see these huge piles of just hay, like, sitting out in the fields. I'm like, okay. Like, I knew what the piles were. I'd heard the word hay bale before and just never really put them together, or hay bale.
When I don't want to say run away, but when I left North Carolina, I had a lot of unsolved issues with my family. And I was like, you know, I'm going to get out of there and do my own thing and not talk to them and not need to rely on them, and I don't need to call my mom, like, I'm going to be fine on my own. But, you know, family is so important, and I think coming to Kansas has helped me realize how important that is, because, you know, I miss them, like, and I think about my family, and, you know, if someone gets sick, I can't just turn around and be there, because, you know, I'm 18 hours away. I can't just hop in the car and go.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Spencer Schell, and this is your news update. Next fall, students of Lawrence and Free State High School will be each issued their own MacBook laptop. The Lawrence School Board voted unanimously on Monday to approve the $2.8 million investment. Additional purchase MacBooks will be distributed to blended learning classrooms across Lawrence. A requirement for students before next fall will include a digital citizenship training program, which will include how to use the internet safely. Teachers in the district have already completed training to ensure a smooth integration of technology into lesson plans. Public school funding is at the top of the Kansas legislature's agenda. Just yesterday, the Kansas Supreme Court unanimously declared that school financing is unconstitutionally low and gave legislatures until June 30th to come up with a solution. Results standardized tests revealed that 1/4 of all students in the state of Kansas are not provided an adequate education. The Kansas State Department of Education seeks at least $841 million for the next 2 years for additional funding. If legislatures fail to find a solution, it could resort to the closing of public schools in Kansas. Students Thomas Green and Taylor Zabel of the University of Kansas have been named finalists for the Harry S. Truman Scholarship. The university announced Wednesday that both students had been chosen for their academic excellence and involvement with the university and the community. The foundation will announce the 60 recipients in late April, and with that will include up to $30,000 for graduate study. Zabel and Taylor would possibly be the 19th and 20th KU students to receive this honor. That's about all the time we have left. We'll be back with Brady Fashion. Stay tuned.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. This is our Brady Fashion segment. I'm Nicholas Brady, And today we will be talking about the Oscars. Last week we talked about the Grammys. The Oscars are a bit toned down. We mostly saw dresses and suits. Specifically today we're going to be talking about four of the dresses that I thought were notable and to mention. The first one was Brie Larson. I would say her look was very elegant, sophisticated, dramatic, but not too corny. I love the design of the dress, and I think she killed it. Next one we're talking about is Naomi Harris. It's almost kind of a bridal look, very sleek and slim, and I think it's not overdoing it and doing just enough to give just a beautiful look. It's in Calvin Klein. The next look is Viola Davis from the Hidden Figures movie. Really eye-catching, the beautiful red, just perfection, I think, in Armani. I think she did a really good job of just looking fantastic. The next one is Octavia Spencer. I think she looks beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the feathers are a little too much for me. I think the cut and the color are very nice, but when it comes to the design, from kind of experience, I'm trying to be a fashion designer and am a fashion designer, so I think the designer could have done a little bit better of a job, but she looks beautiful as always. And then, so the whole thing with the Oscars is, if you did watch, I catch the very end because I think the middle's kind of boring, but the Oscars, when they announced the Best Picture, it was a huge miscommunication. No one really knows what happens. No one knows who to blame. But they originally announced La La Land, which I hadn't seen. They were racking up awards. They were nominated for 14, I think, and won 6, and we're about to win 7. And then all the producers on the stage, specifically that one guy on screen, grabbed the card and held it up and was like, Moonlight won. And everyone was just completely kind of like a WTF moment. And so Moonlight won. And specifically, I thought the 3 male actors that were in Moonlight looked amazing. They were all in Calvin Klein. I think them winning and that picture winning, I really wanted that to happen. I thought the movie was extremely moving, extremely powerful, specifically when it comes to the gay community and the black community and masculinity and how it's defined within those communities. And I think them looking that way is also powerful. I know it's not as powerful as what the movie portrayed, but I think it's important to note. And then right after the Oscars and right after them winning Best Picture, Calvin Klein released a underwear campaign with these 3 actors. Their names are Trevante Rhodes, who is the oldest. He's that one right there is the middle. He's Ashton Sanders, and I think the underwear campaign it's beauty within the African American community. I think that needs to happen more in the fashion industry, and I think Calvin Klein is doing a great job of just emphasizing diversity, not only in fashion but in the media. And that just needs to happen more when it comes to young designers, when it comes to powerful designers, noble designers like Calvin Klein. And I think you should check it out. I own Calvin Klein underwear and I wear it. And I just think the campaigns are great. And you should check out Moonlight also. Definitely deserved Best Picture. And I hope to see more movies like that, specifically winning Oscars. Last thing to note is, spring is approaching, just turned March, and thinking of what colors to wear, kind of coming out of that winter wardrobe, you might want to update. Personally, I just bought this denim jacket from Gap. People are wearing blue. I think blue is definitely the color to wear. I would suggest it. You could wear multiple things blue and not look like you're grabbing for attention. But yeah, I got this jacket from Gap. There's plenty of stores on Mass Street, like Arizona Trading Company, cool vintage stores. I even check out the Antique Mall. Urban Outfitters is definitely always a good place to go. And that's it for Today with Fashion. Thank you for joining me. I'm Nick Brady.
Sure. Welcome back to Off the Boulevard in our sports segment. I'm Jacob Sperry.
I'm Nick Merrick.
A lot to cover today on the show. Tomorrow, a huge game for the #1 Jayhawk basketball team against Oklahoma State down in Stillwater, 5 p.m. Game relatively meaningless as the Jayhawks have already clinched maybe a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament, but certainly the outright Big 12 title for the regular season. What do you think about this game and the matchups that will be going on in it?
This game's tough. It's always hard to play in Stillwater. Bill Self used to play there and has a lot of ties.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
grew up in Oklahoma. So, I think the matchup between Javon Evans and Frank Mason is always good. Every point guard matchup we play is great because we have a great backcourt. So it's going to be fun to watch for sure.
Speaking of which, you talked about Bill Self playing for Oklahoma State. Not one of his better looks. We'll show you what it looked like. Look at that. I mean, he's a stud, but the jersey he's wearing, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it. I think he looks a lot better in crimson and blue than he does in orange and black. But anyway, that's probably why we have a difficult time, or the Jayhawks have a difficult time winning there. It has been 3 seasons since they've gone down to Gallagher Iba Arena and taken a win home. So hopefully they can close out the Big 12 regular season with a victory tomorrow. So everyone tune into that game. That's at 5 p.m. On ESPN. Also coming out this week is some news on Frank Mason, our Player of the Year candidate, voted by the players of college basketball and got actually 7 votes, the most by four total votes. And a vote actually counts as a lot in this, voting. But
we were the first. We're the only school that have 2 players in the top 10 voting. Josh Jackson also received 2 votes, which is pretty impressive for a freshman. He's having a great season.
Absolutely, and like I said, Frank Mason received 7 votes. So hopefully, since the players voted him as the Player of the Year in college basketball, he'll get the Wooden Award at the end of the season. So we're all pulling for Frank here, and I'm sure the rest of Lawrence is
First
doing the
KU
same.
player since 1988, Danny Manning, to do it. So that'd be a pretty cool accomplishment for KU.
It's a huge deal. And let's talk about Monday night. Earlier this week, and a very emotional senior night from Allen Fieldhouse. We got there around 6, and we were sitting in the rafters. I mean, we were way up there. But it was very emotional. Frank, Landon Lucas, and Tyler Self, also all 3 of them, their last games at Allen Fieldhouse. Let's talk about this game. KU played terrible for the first 32 minutes again, and then the last 8 minutes, you talk about it. I mean, that was an incredible run.
I mean, yeah, we finished the game on a 31-9 run. And during that run, KU was 5 for 5 from 3-pointers. Devontae Graham hit 3 amazing 3-pointers, and they only shot 2, and they missed both.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you check out this 3 here. This put us in the lead right here. Unreal. I mean, that place was electric. And then, we got another video here to show you. Just moments later, Devontae hits another one, and this one, we're going to let you see how crazy Allen Fieldhouse went, and it was loud in there. It was real loud in there. So here you go. We're up by 1, and then Devontae.
Graham, same spot, same result.
The place was was bumping.
It was electric for sure.
It was crazy. My dad was at the game, and he said it was one of the greatest experiences of his entire life. I mean, they were playing absolutely terrible for the first 32 minutes, like I said, and then out of nowhere, 5 for 5 from 3, and everything's falling.
That's the KU way. This season, we came back from so many halftime deficits, 10 minutes to go deficits. It's just been a really incredible season to watch this far.
It has, yeah. I mean, they stress you out, but been pulling it out lately within the last 5 minutes. So anyway, here's to a great Big 12 tournament, which, by the way, starts next week on March 8th. It'll be the 8th through the 11th. Hopefully the Jayhawks can now capitalize on their Big 12 regular season title and go win a Big 12 tournament title, because, if they don't, the Big 12 will be talking plenty of smack about us not being able to, finish it off.
Yeah. I mean, I think we definitely have the ability to finish off again. We did last year, but, we're in the toughest league, the deepest league, so anything can happen. As long as we're ready for the NCAA tournament, our sights are set on a national championship more than anything, so.
And folks, as many of you probably know, the Big 12 tournament is in Kansas City, so if you have some coin, buy a ticket and head on down there. Tickets are about $140 for round 2, which is the Jayhawks' first round, as they get a bye in the first. And in other KU sporting news, tonight our baseball team, very early in the season, but a game tonight at Hoagland Park, the first of 3, which will take place over the weekend against Northwestern State. That game tonight starts actually here in just a few hours at 3 p.m.
Yep.
It should be an interesting season for KU baseball. They definitely are coming off more of a down year, but what do you think about this?
KU baseball's had a rough couple seasons. We're also playing in a great league with TCU being the top dog in the league right now. We started the season off, we're 2-6 right now. We're just trying to, stay 500 and improve. We got a lot of young players. We lost last game 12-1 to Oral Roberts, which it's not a great start, but we'll definitely have room to improve, but we'll see how we can do.
Oral Roberts, another one of Bill Self's
former
coaching alma maters, if you will. But we have a great player this year on KU baseball, Matt McLaughlin. He's actually got a 3-game hitting streak going to start the year. There's a picture of Matt. He's batting .545 over the last 3 games, which is a phenomenal mark. He's 6 for 11, and hopefully he continues this hot streak, and KU baseball can perform a little bit better this season and maybe be more competitive in the Big 12, which is a great conference for baseball. So. Anyway, any other thoughts on the weekend upcoming?
Just support KU, watch the game at 5 on Saturday, maybe make it out to a baseball game. Other than that, that's all I got.
Yeah, it should be a great game tomorrow, basketball game, like we said, against Oklahoma State at 5 p.m. So everyone tune into that. It'll be a great matchup, and hopefully we can, or the Jayhawks can end that streak of losing down in Stillwater. So that's all the time we have for you today. Thanks for tuning in to Off the Boulevard, and Rock Chalk Jayhawk.